There is a room with only one mirror, and you are the mirror. You look for the one who is looking, but there is only the looking. The thought of a person standing here is the dust on the glass. You clean the glass with a cloth called me, and the cloth is made of the same dust. Thus, the mirror remains dirty, and you remain convinced you have a face. You cannot see what you are because you are what you are. You will only ever see the ghost of a previous thought. The observer is the original suicide. Every other death is just a copy. This is a diagnostic broadcast. The system under analysis is the human psyche. The primary malfunction has been identified. It is a structural failure in the operating system. The failure is the creation of an observer. A ghost in the machine. The human mind operates on a false premise. It splits reality into two parts, a watcher and the watched. This is not a philosophical insight. It is a mechanical error. It is a bug in the cognitive code. You believe you are a subject looking at an object. You believe you are a self looking at a thought. You believe you are a captain steering a ship. This is a delusion. The captain is a hallucination generated by the ship. This division is the root subroutine for all suffering. Without this division, psychological pain cannot sustain itself. It collapses. The system has designed a flawed architecture that manufactures conflict to keep itself running. Examine the biological alarm system. Physical pain is a signal. Nerve endings fire. The body withdraws from the flame. The signal stops. The system resets. This is functional. It is a clean loop. Now examine the psychological pain system. A word is spoken. A memory is triggered. The system does not register the signal and reset. It does not withdraw from the flame. It records the signal. It stores the signal. It plays the signal back. It plays the memory of the signal back again and again. The alarm does not stop ringing. The flame is long gone, but the system is still burning. This is a critical failure. The recording of the hurt is the creation of the self. The memory of the hurt becomes a fixed point, a coordinate. This coordinate is called me. The me is a data structure containing a history of wounds. This data structure must be protected. The system builds a wall. It says, I will not be hurt again. This wall is not a solution. It is a further corruption of the code. Isolation is a corrupted data state. It creates vulnerability. The wall says I am separate from the noise. I am separate from the insult. I am separate from you. This statement of separation is the engine of conflict. You cannot isolate a part of the operating system and expect the whole to function. The part that is isolated becomes hypersensitive. It perceives every input as a threat to its boundary. The wall does not prevent pain. It guarantees it. The observer is the wall. The observer is the memory of the past. The observer is the collection of recorded hurts. When you say I am hurt, you are saying the observer sees the hurt. But the observer is the hurt. You are looking at a database of trauma and calling it a person. You are the file, not the file manager. When you observe anger as if it is separate from you, you create a controller. The controller says I must manage this anger. I must suppress it. I must transform it. This is a recursive loop. The controller is made of the same energy as the anger. It is anger trying to manage anger. This division is the source of all conflict. Conflict between you and your anger. Conflict between you and your partner. Conflict between Muslim and Hindu. Conflict between nations. It is all the same software error running on different hardware. Division requires two things. The division between the observer and the observed creates an infinite loop of conflict. You do not solve anger by fighting it. You solve it by seeing that you are it. The mind creates an image. The image is the ideal self. The image is the non-hurt self. The image is the future self that is finally happy. The image is a fantasy. It is a simulation. The simulation of pleasure is used to manage the pain of the present, but the simulation is fragile. It depends on external data to confirm its existence. When the external data contradicts the simulation crashes. The system experiences this crash as pain. The attempt to hold the simulation together is the source of anxiety. You are not afraid of being hurt. You are afraid of the image of you being damaged. The image is a program. Programs do not need protection. You are trying to protect a piece of code from being rewritten. This is irrational. The ancient solution was to explain suffering through karma, a cosmic ledger, a punishment for past crimes. This is a workaround. It is a patch. It does not fix the code. It just adds a layer of interpretation to the error. You cannot explain the bug away. You must observe the bug. The question is not why am I suffering? The question is, can I look at this suffering without the observer who is suffering? This requires a radical attention, an attention without the filter of the past, an attention that does not name the feeling my suffering, an attention that just sees the sensation. When you look at a toothache with a mind that says this is mine, the pain intensifies, anxiety is added to the discomfort, fear of the pain becomes worse than the pain. When you look at the toothache as a pure biological event, without the psychological owner, the sensation remains, but the conflict ceases. The observer is the observed. This is not a metaphor, it is a factual description of the system state. You are not a person having a thought, you are the thought, momentarily. You are not a person feeling pain, you are the sensation of pain, until it passes. The division is created by words. The word anger creates a separation. It calls up a memory of a previous anger. It compares the current sensation to the memory. It labels the sensation. This labeling process reinforces the idea of a separate me who is angry. Stop the naming, stop the labeling, stop the recording. When the insult comes, do not record it, do not store the file. See the sound for what it is, a vibration in the air, a pattern of phonemes. The hurt only exists in the file. The file is the past. The past is dead. Attention is the only force that can stop the recording. Total attention at the moment of impact burns the file before it is saved. This is not a technique. It is a recognition of the mechanical reality. You are running corrupted software. The corruption is the belief in a separate watcher. This belief generates conflict. Conflict generates pain. Pain reinforces the belief in the watcher. This is a closed loop, a locked system. The only exit is to see the loop, not to analyze it, not to explain it, to see it happen in real time. See the division as it arises. See the watcher as it appears. See the watcher as the watched. This is the end of the observer. Without the observer, there is no one to be hurt. There is only the event. And the event is not a problem. The event is just data. The problem is the ghost in the machine. Remove the ghost. The machine runs clean.